talking about like people investing in stuff and actually selling off stocks. See all the top CEOs like Jeff Bezos, Meta, and all this that seem to be selling off compared to the amount of stocks they have. Not a lot, but millions in terms of.
Well, Jeff's not the CEO anymore. Just to make that
clear. well said, to be fair.
But
all these guys selling it off. What?
Yeah.
Why do you think they're selling loads?
Well,
of
let's
stocks
give some
off?
more numbers on that just before we can
go on the
so.
Do you get the picture there, son?
I don't. I've got the information that's enough here. So JP Morgan's. I always forget his name. What's
Jamie Dimon.
Why don't? It's because I see the J and then my brain goes. The dyslexic just goes no. So 822,000 shares, which for him 150 million. We're going on the up here.
Bezos,
Zuckerberg, 1.8 million shares, 400 million, and then Jeff. 50 million shares of Amazon. 8.5 billion.
That's a lot of money.
Wes said something before, Curtis, when you weren't here. Wes, what did you say, Wes? Say to me what the 8.5 billion would be for him from you as a wealth perspective side.
Oh, was it? Well, he's drawing down on his retirement plan. As far as
I was just going to say this. Is this the reason they're doing it? Do you think?
Is this, well, Jeff in particular,
and because all of their stocks are so high at the minute, aren't they? This is the thing. Do you think
combination
they are
of
trying
those
to
things.
just,
they're
sell
doing
a bit
really well.
whilst it's so high in case it drops a bit?
They've absolutely flown. Things, that, particularly the last 3 months. I've got some charts on that myself, but the last 3 months have been since kind of the October lows, really, in 2023, but particularly the last 2 or 3 months. Their stocks
of February, they
absolutely
literally just started dumping,
almost parabolic.
You can't say the word dumping.
No, I can't. You are correct. Because
Absolutely not.
It's a small amount in comparison to what they do have. Yes,
they're just putting some to the side. Jeff may want to buy another 10 boats.
But to us muggles, that's a lot.
But it's part of his drawdown his retirement plan. Like I say,
on very different side of wealth.
It is different though. And I understand the point. It is different for someone like Jamie Dimon. But then, having said that, Jamie Dimon is the CEO of JP Morgan, is responsible for the success. He's a phenomenal business leader. Doesn't like Bitcoin, but he's a phenomenal business leader, and he's arguably the most important bank, certainly in the US, maybe in the world. And he's what if he's the CEO of JP Morgan, they've had a really good time. The stock price does what it does, and he doesn't take some off the table. Would you question? Would you have a look at it then and say, actually, does he? Why isn't he doing that? Why is he not doing that?
I think one thing you have to look at in their sort of worlds, like our level of wealth. I go out for dinner or go something like that. In their levels of wealth, like the amounts are so much higher in everything they do.
Absolutely, yeah.
So even here we got that photo, big bank CEO compensation, like. CEO Morgan Stanley 37 million, JP Morgan like he takes 36 million, Goldman Sachs 31 million, Bank of America 29, Wells Fargo 29 million. Like, for him to even pull out 150 million, like as you said, it would be a bit weird if he didn't put some in his own bank account.
And also the other side of that, what you mustn't forget is a lot of their compensation when they agree to take these jobs and take these roles, particularly in the US, it's rife in the US, is most of their compensation is stock based.
Yeah.
So when they agree to say, there'll be X salary, which is a lot of money, plus stock compensation. So that's their bonus. That's their kind of rewards. And I'm not underplaying the size of this.
Getting that cash.
I'm not underplaying the size of it. And I know, from a
but
it's eye-watering amounts of money.
If I got options in something and a company's doing well or something, for you as our advisor, you'd say, well, maybe just take the money that like you've made something. You don't. It could go down. It may go up. Either or, good or bad. It's sensible to take something and put it into your bank account to secure yourself.
Yeah, and we even at our level, we don't, within our strategies at iRmarket, we don't have single equities, but equally within the strategy we have, we rebalance, and that's a similar thing. We might have an element. So, for example, the Nasdaq has done what it's done, and we might be overweight that, for example, and they might get to a point where actually let's rebalance that and spread that back into other assets, because ultimately
an all-time high,
you're trying to balance that out. You're trying to balance that out and manage portfolios, and he's managed his own, and they are managing their own. And I must admit, I know there can be issues about how much these people get paid, right?
Well, in comparison to like almost the size of the companies, the size of this and what they do, yeah, to us it sounds absolutely phenomenal, but it's sort of justifiable in a weird way, I feel.
What do you think? Do you read much about kind of what they get paid and the views on it? The big bank CEOs.
More to the point, I hear more stories on being like, okay, let's say Warren Buffett doesn't take a massive wage, and the money is back within the company. Not that his outgoings are crazy, and can probably all of his things are business expenses anyway. So why would I? What's the point in me giving myself a massive wage to then pay the government? I would be on that side. I'd be like, what's my purpose? Is to increase my stock price. I think there should be a wage there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then when a wage is getting to a certain point, a wage is on one
56
side.
56 billion.
And then you can use that wage to then if he got a bigger wage, it'd be investing back into the company anyway.
Yeah, quite. I mean my challenge is and I do understand it's eye-watering amounts of money, and it's kind of difficult to fathom at times. But if you're 50 million as the CEO of, say, a JP Morgan, who are, as a firm, really important to the function and structure of the world. I mean, I won't get into how people view banks, all that kind of stuff, but ultimately they are, frankly.
They hold a lot of things together. And It would be weird if he didn't get paid, 30 million, 50 million. The number's a bit hypothetical. Let's say it's 100 million. It would be weird if that person controlling the bank and holding a country together, because they do in a weird way, as you said, argument, interest rates up, down. And then I know how much Messi gets paid, and I know how much. Well, Taylor Swift's on the whole other end.
Yeah, exactly my point.
In industries, you understand what people have made. It's a pretty important job.
Yeah,
you can't deny it.
I love sport, love music, I love everything else, but it's an important job.
Branding
and it comes with
wise,
all the things with that and the stress of that.
Very good point when you look at that compared to someone like, for example, last week we were talking about
Lewis
Lewis
Hamilton
Hamilton and the
to-
Ferrari. It's 400 million.
Exactly.
You
my
have
point.
to
It's a very
level a
good point,
playing
yeah.
field.
100 million
We
a year.
understand, sports entertainment keeps people driving, branding, large companies behind the scene. At the end of the day, them large companies are probably borrowing from these banks. And it's a very circle.
Sounds a real incestuous situation there.
There's a lot of patting on the back, isn't there?
Well, there's a lot that they influence or are in control of or are important for.
Yeah.
And
they're in the rooms where they understand I can probably invest in this, it's going to help. It's the argument the same with, you see, how can the US Senate be allowed to do technically inside trade on information they know that's going to come out before everybody else?
You're talking about Nancy Pelosi now, aren't you?
She's got her own app. Well, it's not run by her.
She's got her own ETF. To be honest, I'd buy it.
You can even get notifications up on it. Have you seen it?
Yes.
So you can get notifications up on it, and it will automatically trade off what she trades straight away.
It's just copying her.
A copy trade.
Yeah.
And the guy in California made the app. I was like, it's amazing because her returns, well, talk about Kathy Woods, just follow Nancy. You'd be winning.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, but I think there is a certain amount with a wage, and I think if somebody's going to do a job, the one reason why you pay them so much is that they have the responsibility. They're going to get fired. They're not you can't work for free.
No.
And in reality, to the size of the companies, that is not a lot of money.
No.
Compared to the actual size of the companies.
All relative. And and they're bloody good.
Yeah.
They're important.
They do hold it together. That is one definite thing.